What's going on, folks? Tim Wheaton, Calf Kick Sports here. We're going to do a post-fight. Fight has been sent, but you know how IG Live is. It may work. It may not work. That's okay. But, oh, it worked the first try. What's going on, man?
I can see you as well. Oh my God, man, I'm so excited.
I cannot believe that it worked. And like in a second, we get it first try. Amazing, dude.
I know, man. It's getting smooth, man. It's getting smooth. But yeah, Tim, obviously we're breaking down the Nasruddin Imanov. Always fuck up
I
his
always,
name.
I, I think it's Imanov every single time. But every time I'm like, oh,
It's actually Imavov, but I
yeah.
always fuck. Yeah, it's Imavov, so it's VOV. But yeah, I mean, Imavov versus Dolidze, man, we couldn't get this any more correct, man. Like how accurate were we? Like,
No.
come on, look at us.
We were like, Roman Dolidze could beat him on the ground, but he's just going to choose not to.
Bro, literally what happened. I mean, how accurate was that, man? That was ridiculous. And I was very, it was just surprising, man, like how kind of true to life it actually happened as well. Were you expecting that as it did, or were you, what's
No,
your thoughts on that?
I thought it was going to be a lot closer than it was. But in the first round, Nasruddin Imavov was able to land a lot of, like, clearly a right hand and was able to out grapple Dolidze in the first round. And I think Dolidze never recovered from that. Like, he was rocked in the first round and just never got out of that first gear kind of thing. He had some good grappling exchanges as the fight went on and showed that he could be quite good, but he just couldn't get the fight to where he wanted. But no, I actually expected it to be a lot closer. I thought if Dolidze was down, he would be able to kind of change his game plan and adjust. But yeah, if you saw the first round, you basically saw the whole fight. What did you think? What did you see in it?
Man, it's weird because literally the first round, Imavov definitely hurt him. He put him on kind of skates a little bit.
Yeah,
What the biggest takeaway that we've gathered from this is, we always knew that Dolidze was extremely good at grappling, KO power in both
yeah.
hands. But now we know that he's just extremely tough, man. Like he took a beating in this, and people are saying that this is a boring fight. What are you guys watching, man? Like this is a good fight, man, and it actually was a car crash. The only thing is, the only victim in this was Dolidze, man. He took jabs, he took body kicks, everything that we kind of predicted in the pre-fight show. It basically happened, exactly as it is. And I think the most surprising thing about it was when Dolidze was against kind of clinching him against the fence. Were you a bit surprised that he didn't level change as much?
Yeah.
He just was happy to clinch with him. He didn't throw too many elbows. He was just kind of happy to stick to that position. It might have been exhaustion, but what were your thoughts on that?
Completely co-sign with you. It was almost frustrating to watch of like this guy just he could be all over it if he needed to, and there were
Yeah,
so many clinching opportunities, and when he was in the clinch he wasn't doing anything, because one thing that Imavov does is when he's striking he moves into almost close range, and then he'll throw like a 1-2 1-1-2 really good stuff, but then he'll hang out just for an extra few seconds, and that's when he was getting hit. But in all of those exchanges I'm thinking like, man, a wrestler would take him down. A wrestler would just be on that. The distance is too close. He's in the clinch. Why doesn't he use it? You know what I
yeah.
mean? It was frustrating, right?
Marvin Vittori, do you
Yeah.
reckon he's just going to be like clinching with you the whole time, like just happy just to lean on you for 2 rounds? He's not going to do that, man. He's going to have the cardio that it's slightly going to be better than, well, it's going to be a lot better than
Yeah.
Delizes, and it's going to be, you're going to be in for a really long night, man. If that's going to be a strategy, I thought Imavov did. If I had to kind of rank or grade his performance. I thought it was a B plus, man. I thought it was really good. There's a couple of things that I would say he does that is going to probably give him a bit of trouble when he moves up in the rankings. I feel like he stays on the outside too much. So, he doesn't stay in the middle too much. He's very happy to kind of stay on the outside because he's extremely tall as a middleweight
Yeah.
in the middleweight division. But against a strong wrestler, like against, I don't know, Jack Manson or Marvin Vittori, even the Phil Hawes fight, he had a lot of issues
Yep.
there. I think that's a big issue going forward.
Oh, I completely agree with you on that. I think there's very clear areas where he's going to struggle, and those clear areas were stuff that I thought we would see in this fight. But yeah, Roman Dolidze, it's like a guy with like almost all the advantages. It's like In the video game, he would have 100 out of 100 on the grappling, and then the player chooses to stand and strike. You know, it was just a frustrating watch. And like, I think
Ben Askren.
you say Ben Askren?
It's like you're striking with Ben Askren in a video game. You're like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not gonna wrestle with you. I'm just gonna throw a jab. What?
I think Imavov does have very clear weaknesses, but yeah, like it's almost frustrating to watch Dolidze not go for them, right?
Yeah, I mean, he ended up being Ryan Hall by the end of that fight, man. He just went for a leg lock, like he just desperately trying to go for a leg lock, yeah. And it almost makes me
It did
think,
well. The leg lock was actually pretty good, wasn't it? Like he almost got it.
but it was deep. Like Imavov had to kind of think about that one, you know, before he pulled his leg out. But it makes me think, why don't you do that early? You know, why don't you just kind of put the pace on early, and try and go for the submissions? I feel like Dolidze should just change his style to like how Glover Teixeira changed his style towards the end of his career. Why don't you be like that? You'd be amazing.
Yep. Top position grappler, takedowns, advancing positions, and you can see on the ground he is so smooth and so good. Like he did a few reversals in this fight. I'm like, why don't you use what you have, man?
And he's a very strong guy as well. He's a very strong, powerful guy. But yeah, man, what do you do? What do you do with both of these guys, man? You know, great fight, but what do you do with these guys?
I think the winner, Nasruddin Imavov, is the easier pairing, right? Like because we have Jack Hermanson and Joe Pfeiffer this weekend, and I think the winners are going to fight each. Is that right?
Ooh, I forgot about the Joe Pfeiffer one. So Joe Pfeiffer, Jack Hermanson. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for Imavov.